Good morning, students. To continue our discussions, so we have here we discuss the different types of disinfectants: the phenol and phenolics, the chlorhexidine, halogens, alcohols, heavy metals, and their compounds, surface active agents, quaternary ammonium compounds, and organic acids. So we go now to phenol. When we say phenol, it is known to be the carbolic acid or benzenol, the substance first used by Joseph Lister in his operating room because he was involved in surgery process of his patients. Rarely used as antiseptic and disinfectant, okay, because it irritates the skin and has disagreeable odor. So usually it is also used to inhibit the growth of bacteria. Okay, no antimicrobial effect at lower concentrations of phenol. So phenol has 1% antibacterial effect and 1.4% used for sore throat. So phenolics or phenol or ortho, okay, ortho, meta, diba? We have a positions of naming the phenols, okay? So ortho, that is 1-2 relationship. Okay, main ingredient of most formulations of your Lysol. So the Lysol is used as disinfectant, especially in your house, diba? You have your Lysol. Okay, Chrysols is another good disinfectant. The hexachlorophene generally possess greater potency than monophenol. Why? Hexachlorophene, based on structure, contains 2 phenyl group and 6 chlorine ion or chloride ion, which is known to be the plays the important role in antibacterial activity or antimicrobial activity. Okay, the increased degree of chlorination of hexachlorophene increases its antiseptic potency further. Why? Because uh, based on structure of that one, as what I have told you, that hexachlorophene at least it has no 6 chloride ion, which possess a higher degree of chlorination process and heavily used to control staphylococcal and streptococcal infections and control nosocomial infections, usually to hospital acquired infections. So hexachlorophene is used as disinfectant mostly in hospitals. We have chlorhexidine, not a phenol, although structure is almost the same as hexachlorophene and frequently used for disinfections of skin and mucous membrane as alternative to hexachlorophene. Okay, killing effect is related to damage of the plasma membrane because once chloride ion penetrates, usually it cause leakage or damage of the plasma membrane. Effective against vegetative bacteria. Usually these are bacteria involved already in the growing stage, and at the same time they tend to eat more nutrients but not sporocidal. So meaning it cannot cause effect or cause damage to spores or spore forming bacteria, okay, like bacillus. Halogens, important halogens are the iodine and chloride, and iodine is the most oldest and most effective antiseptics, and usually iodine so commonly used in dressing of wounds. Okay, we have the povidone iodine, effective against all kinds of bacteria, many endospores, various fungi, and some viruses. So combined with amino acid tyrosine, causing inhibition of protein functions. So usually iodine, during the reactions, the protein part, the bacteria, or even in the inside the nucleus, I mean, okay, or bacteria, most of the cells are contains protein, especially in the ribosomal part in the nucleus. So usually protein tends to penetrate and combine with tyrosine, which inhibit the protein functions of the different microorganisms. Chlorine as a gas or combinations with other chemicals is another widely used disinfectant. So germicidal action by hypochlorous acid, and strong oxidizing agents that prevents functions of cellular enzyme system, because chlorine, when they penetrate the cells, for example, we have the hypochlorous that is uncharged. Usually this one is can penetrate inside the cells, or penetrate and act inside the cells, while charged or minus hypochlorous cannot really penetrate the cells, because we know that cell membranes are composed of the different ions. So kung charge minus siya, usually it reacts but it cannot penetrate. Okay? So usually dito lang sila sa surface. While this one is uncharged, so this one has a tendency to penetrate both in the hydrophobic and hydrophilic phase of the cell membrane, because they are considered to be uncharged. So there is, when you say uncharged, they have no reactions, they cannot react. Okay? Because uncharged because of the presence of hydrogen ion. So hydrogen ion that bonds with your chloride oxygen, so tendency of this one is considered to be uncharged already. Okay? But this one is negative, so tendency it can interact with the ions that are found in the surface of the cell membrane. So when the hypochlorous acid enters the cytoplasm, the protein lipid, so there is what we call, it affects the protein lipid degeneration process, or the production process of the synthesis of the proteins. Usually, di ba, they tend to bind with the amino acids, and it also affects the energy resource consumption of the cells. Okay, so this is the mechanism, of the chloride ion. Chloramines consist of chlorine and ammonia. So disinfectants, antiseptics, sanitizing agents used to sanitize glasswares, eating utensils, street, dairy, and food manufacturing equipment. Usually this is common in the manufacturing company, food industry. In the food industry or food manufacturing, equipment. Okay. So alcohols effectively kill bacteria and fungi but not induce spores and non-envelope viruses. So later on we'll discuss the two types of the viruses. Mayroon siyang envelope and non-envelope virus. So later on we will discuss when we arrive in virology. Okay? The MOA, protein denaturation, but alcohol can disrupt cell membranes. Okay? Because of the presence there of the OH group, dissolved in many lipids, including lipid component of envelope viruses. Okay? As the primary alcohol chain length, take note, if there is an increase in the chain of carbon atom, or a chain or a primary alcohol, it will increase its van der Waals forces, and it will increase the penetration across the microbial cell membrane. Okay, as water increases, apparent antimicrobial diminishes with molecular weight. So you add water, so mag-lower yung concentration ng alcohol. Example, we have 50% alcohol, so 50% of that one is a water, so meaning it is not already concentrated, so there is a tendency na yung potency ng alcohol will be affected because of the presence of water, so that is already diluted. Ethanol, also known as ethyl alcohol, wine spirit, so a clear, colorless, volatile liquid with a burning taste and pleasant odor. Okay, so this one, ethanol is the other name is ethyl alcohol. Okay, wine spirit. It is flammable, miscible with water in all proportions, and soluble. So ethyl alcohol consists only of 2 carbon atoms. Commercially, it contains 95% ethanol by volume, can be prepared synthetically by sulfuric acid catalyzed hydration of ethylene. So usually it is coming from ethylene or double bond. So there's what we call a hydration process. When say hydration, there is the addition of water, and then it will form now in the ethanol. And there's no 2 ethanol. Okay, or 2 hydroxy ethane. Okay, so formation of that one, Next, isopropyl alcohol, also known as isopropanol. Okay, it is a colorless, volatile liquid with characteristic odor and slightly bitter taste, considered as suitable substituent of the alcohol. Okay? It is prepared commercially by sulfuric catalyzed hydration of propylene. Okay, so kung propylene siya sa uh, class, sa may ethyl alcohol that is coming from ethylene. So yung reactions kanina, the product of this one is isopropanol kasi branching siya. So almost the same lang siya ng ethanol. Kaso lang ethylene naman dito. Okay? So same sulfuric acid, it will lead to the formation of ethanol. Okay, so this is usually walang kasi kung tatlo na siya 1 2 3 it is isopropanol, correct? So for the ethane class, so ethane siya dito, CH2 siya, and then walang CH3, so tawag dito ethanol na. Okay, so almost the same lang process pero different yung structure na from where the structure are being synthesized. Okay, at both ethanol and propanol. Okay, remember our organic chemistry. Okay, used primarily in disinfectant for the skin and surgical instruments. Is rapidly bactericidal in a concentration range of 50 to 95% alcohol, meaning it can kill the bacteria. So 40% concentration is considered equal to antiseptic efficacy to 60% ethanol in water solution. Okay, so kung 40% equal in antiseptic efficacy of 60% ethanol in water. So kung mag 60% sa that is almost 40% yung water dyan. Okay, so we have heavy metals and their compounds. Silver, mercury, copper has germicidal or antiseptic effects. The oligodynamic actions, meaning this is the ability of very small amounts of heavy metals, especially silver and copper, to exert antimicrobial activity. Okay, yung silver is used as antiseptic in 1% silver nitrate solution. Okay, so small amount lang ng metals yan ang mag-bind doon sa bacteria, and it will lead to cause the destruction of the bacteria. Mercury chloride used as a disinfectant, so bacteriostatic, which inhibit the growth of bacteria, corrosive and highly toxic. Yes, mercury is considered to be very corrosive. Okay, mercurochrome and mertiolate gas are antiseptics used in the skin and mucous membrane, but necessary precautions or reminders to those who are using this one, because it is contained mercury, so it will really cause damage to our tissues in high amount. So surface active agents will decrease surface tensions among molecules in liquid. So when you say if you decrease the surface tensions, so surface tension happens at the surface of the cell membrane. So if you decrease that one, so tendency, there is what we call a problem already in the attachment of the bacteria. Okay, why? Because lower yung surface tension. Soap has low antiseptic effect, but it involves removal of microbes and by scrubbing. That is why once ang bacteria manghugas ka ng plato, for example, so there is what you call lowering of surface tensions acted by the soap, then the bacteria are being washed away. So yung inaano lang ng mga surface active agent is yung attachment ng bacteria in certain objects. So they will going to lower the surface tension of the bacteria in the cell membrane area. Okay, the skin normal contains dead skin, dust, dried sweat, microbes, and oily secretions from oil glands. So we have quaternary ammonium compounds. So these are strongly bactericidal against gram-positive bacteria. So fungicidal, amoebicidal, virucidal. So mga fungicidal acts or kills a fungi or kills amoeba, kills a virus. So two important quaternary ammonium chloride is benzalconium chloride and cetylpyridinium chloride. Benzalconium chloride, isang content yan ng mertiolate, ha? Okay, we have organic acid and derivatives, so used as preservatives to control mold growth. Okay, sorbic acid used to inhibit the growth of molds in acidic food such as cheese. Kasi yung molds, ito yung nagka-cause ng pagpanos ng mga kanon. Yung kita mo da, may mga molds yan. So tendency, mayroon na siyang kumbaga ang food or mga gina-prepare natin na mga example sa rice na lang, so magkaroon dyan ng molds dyan, so makita mo may growth ng molds. Okay? Parang choraya sinado fungus. Okay, benzoic acid is antifungal that is effective at low pH level and has wide use in soft drinks and other acidic foods. Okay, so parabens, ito inhibit the growth of, and methyl paraben usually inhibit the mold growth in liquid cosmetics and shampoos. So ito yung ginagamit na preservatives, the methyl paraben and propyl paraben. So calcium propionate prevents mold growth in bread. Okay.